What absolutely makes no sense. The way you join one of the dentist surgeries in my area, you have a pre-assessment appointment to become a patient. To get the pre-assessment you have to be a listed patient. To become a listed patient, you need to have a pre-assessment. They won't budge on this, and they don't take emergency patients either. I never figured it out and went to another dentist surgery. I recently moved to France. In fact, this happened over several months. But if it were a dialogue, it would go more or less like this. I need to rent an apartment. Sure. What's your phone number? +1-3 point. No. That's an American number. You need a French one. Okay. Walk into an orange store, biggest telco in France. I need a SIM card to put on this phone. What is your address? This is my Airbnb. No. You need an energy bill in your name. I'm trying to rent an apartment. This is what I need the phone for. I don't know what to do. We can give you a prepaid phone. No need for address then. I buy the prepaid phone. I need to rent an apartment. Sure. What's your phone number? 078. No. That's a prepaid number. You need a phone bill in your name. The story goes on and eventually involves several government agencies as I get everything I need to live. Like bank account, driver's license, social security, insurance, and the rest. All tangled up in this web of interdependency. It took me several months. And in the end I only managed to do it because a colleague from work agreed to sell me her car without asking for a phone or an address. And her friend the insurance agent agreed to insure my car based on an Airbnb address. I opened a bank account using the car insurance bill as proof of address. Got a phone using the bank statement as proof of address. And so on. I almost done. Still waiting on my driver's license. Edit. I was not expecting all the attention to my little story. And wards too. Wow. I'm sorry though. There is no way I can reply to everyone and still get things done. I'm reading everything though. Love the shared stories. Skype sells phone numbers for almost any country that are routed to the Skype app on your phone or computer. In fact, they are marketed as a way to solve the type of problem link. Skype.com/n/features/online number/ you describe. The platypus. There are trash cans literally everywhere, and people still feel the need to just throw their shit on the ground. On top of that, now I'm seeing paper masks everywhere too. And as a Canadian, I legit expected more consideration. Even worse is that when dog owners tie bags of shit to a tree branch. Why? Question mark? How Hawaii has an interstate. Technically shouldn't it be an intrastate? Yes it should. I made jokes about where's the tunnel to California to my travel companions, who also agreed with me, but sometime later a friend from the USA enlightened me as to why it's called an interstate, even though it doesn't actually go from Hawaii to another state. Apparently there are other states that have an interstate that doesn't actually go between states. The name interstate just denotes that the roads receive federal funding. It all started with roads that actually did go between states, and they just kept the term regardless of whether the road actually linked two states or not. You can shatter a bone and it will heal itself, but if you get a tiny cavity you gotta get that filled. Never thought about that. Kinda glad it's not the reverse of that situation. Happy we don't have to fill cavities in our ribs or whatever. The rules to post on r/show our thoughts. Why customers continue to gripe at me, a lowly store employee who literally has no part in what items the store stocks, about our store being out of stock of an item. This isn't getting enough attention. Just general abuse to people whose job is trying to help you. It's not my fault you waited until the last second to order a product that is so popular that it's selling for 9 times its retail value online by scalpers. It's not my fault that you didn't know this burger had pickles on it. Apparently during the first wave of lockdown in the UK, abuse of retail workers skyrocketed. It pisses me off no end. They were doing their best trying to keep the shelves stocked with all the panic buying, and they got abused for it. It makes me think that people should be forced to work in retail for a year so they can see what it's like. Linking healthcare insurance to employment. My aunt was employed by Verizon for 10 years. Paid insurance premiums 10 years. Got super sick. Lost job because she was too sick to work. Lost health insurance linked to job. She was like, what the duck is the point of having insurance if you just lose it when you get sick? Apostrophe. This is exactly what happened to my mom when she got cancer. The company she'd worked at for 12 years just tossed her out like yesterday's newspaper because she was calling in sick a lot due to the effects of chemo. She did everything right. Worked hard all her life. And the system basically just told her, fuck you. Go die. Apostrophe. The fact that the government knows exactly how much tax you owe, but doesn't tell you unless you underpay. Exactly. Why can't they just figure it out themselves and send me a bill? The answer to this is companies like Intuit that make a business out of doing people's taxes lobby the government to keep things the way they are. Most other countries do exactly this. Send you a letter saying here's your refund or this is how much you owe, and if you think it's wrong you contact them. Dust. Something sits there and does nothing and it gets dirty. Related to dust, something could mean to remove dust or to add dust. It's called a contronym. Other examples are to buckle or to overlook. How universities are charging full price to learn from home. My friend had to pay for a mandatory transit pass as part of her college fees to take college courses from home. Also, there are bullshit fees like the campus fee people are still paying. What campus? Your house. The intent is to provide students with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different fees that I needed. Work experience and references from previous employers and teachers, which I haven't talked to in 6 months. For a stoker position at Costco right after getting out of high school. What they actually mean is you need to know someone who will vouch for you. How many people are famous even though they have absolutely no talent? It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's life in many places. Plenty of famous people have famous friends or are connected by family to other celebs. You're right though about how little sense it makes to have people being famous even though they have zero talent. Or they could just be hot. Toddlers. WTF is going on in their little brains to make absolutely no sense? Question mark. Sorry, just spent a ton of time trying to get my kid to do something he wanted to do until I told him to do it. How many ways can I kill myself today? Toddler's thoughts. Or as my friend's toddler thinks, fine you won't let me have chips. Then he'll run headfirst into the corner of the wall that will show you. 5 stitches later he still didn't get chips. Forcing an apology. They don't mean it and only said it to appease whoever told them to apologize. They'll do it again most likely. With kids it's more about teaching them the concept of apologizing. Never heard of someone forcing an apology from an adult. Edit. Okay. By forcing an apology I was thinking taking someone by the hand and telling them now say sorry the way you do with a kid. Obviously politicians, corporations, celebrities, fake apologies. The other thing coming up a lot is Karens, and yeah, I guess you're right. Someone does need to hold their hand like a 2-year-old to get an apology. I tell my kids that they need to apologize because it's a way of letting the other person know that they can trust you again. I've also taught them by example to say, it's okay when someone apologizes for something that didn't really hurt you, like accidentally bumping you or interrupting you, but to say, thank you for apologizing. I needed that when they do hurt you. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.